Okay, the last part is yarns and fabrics. Yarns and fabrics are semi-finished goods made from fibers in textile industry. Introduction to yarns. In general, yarn may be defined as a linear assemblage of fibers or filaments formed into a continuous strand having textile-like characteristics. Here, I want to introduce the single and ply yarns, novelty yarns, high bulk yarns, and coil-spun yarns. Single and ply yarns. When a ply yarn is untwisted, it separates into two or more finer yarns. When a single yarn is untwisted, it comes apart in short fibers or separates into filaments. Ply yarn, therefore, may be defined as two or more single yarns twisted together to form one new yarn. In this picture, the left one is a single yarn and the right one is plied yarn. Novelty yarns. Novelty yarns are general classification given to yarns which are not of uniform thickness throughout their length, but have deliberate irregularities on their surfaces. These irregularities may be knots, bumps, curls, or similar effects. Here, I shall take 5 common examples. Number 1. Boucle yarns. Boucle yarns are characterized by tight loops projecting from the body of the yarn at fairly regular intervals. Most boucle yarns are 3-ply constructions. The 3 parts of the yarn are the core, the effector, and the tie or binder. Number 2. Chenille yarns. True chenille yarns are produced from a woven lino fabric structure that is slit into narrow warp-wise strips to serve as yarn. Chenille is French for caterpillar, and the yarns resemble hairy caterpillars. Number 3. Corkscrew or spire yarns. Corkscrew yarn is produced by twisting 2 plies of different count together, or by wrapping a fine ply loosely around a coarse ply to give the appearance of a corkscrew. Number 4. Flock yarns. Flock yarns, frequently called flick yarns, are usually single yarns to which small tufts of fiber are added at intervals. The fiber tufts may be held in place by the twist of the yarn, or they may be attacked with an adhesive. Number 5. Slab yarns. Most slab yarns are single yarns produced by uneven twisting. At intervals, the twist in the yarn is reduced to produce a soft, bulky area. The slab may be placed at regular or irregular intervals. That is all for novelty yarns. Next one is high bulk yarns. High bulk yarns. A high bulk yarn is a staple or continuous filament yarn that has a normal extensibility but an unusually high degree of loftiness or fullness. These yarns retain their bulkiness under both relaxed and stressed conditions. Great covering power with little weight in fabrics is possible composed of high bulk yarns. Texture yarns. Most texture yarns can be extended from 1 1/2 to twice their normal or relaxed length. Some can be extended up to 3 or 4 multiply of their relaxed length. Coil-spun yarn. Coil-spun yarn has a central core with a second layer or sheath of fibers wrapped around it, but core and wrapping may be of the same fiber type or 2 different fiber types, or more, may be used. Further, one part may be filament fibers, while the other is of staple fibers, or both parts may be of either filament or staple length fibers. The next part is Introduction to Fabrics. Fabrics are made from solutions directly from fibers, from yarns, and from combination of these elements. Here, I'll introduce the woven fabric, knitted fabric, and non-woven fabric. Number 1. Introduction to woven fabric. Woven fabric is produced by interlacing or warp and weft. The lengthwise edges of the fabric are the selvages. The major reasons for variations in appearance of woven fabric are the yarn structure and the fabric structure. The aspects of yarn structure that are most likely to affect the final appearance and the properties of the fabric include the degree of hairiness of the yarn, its smoothness and luster, its extensibility and twist, while its strength will be critical in ensuring satisfactory performance in use. Fabric structure also affects the final appearance and properties of the fabric. According to fabric views, fabrics can be divided into many types, such as plain, twill, satin, etc. Number 2. Introduction to knitted fabric. Knitting is a cloth manufacturing process in which needles are used to form a series interlocking loops from one or more yarns or from a set of yarns. There are 2 basic stitches in knitted fabrics, plain stitch and purl stitch. Plain stitch. The plain stitch is the basic knitted stitch. It is also called the knit stitch. The stitch is also the basic of the fabric called jersey. Purl stitch. The purl stitch is actually the reverse of the plain or knit stitch, and in fact is sometimes called the reverse knit stitch. The back of jersey knit fabric is a purl stitch. There are 2 main classifications of knitted fabrics: Weft Needs and Warp Needs. Each uses different kind of machinery for producing fabric, and each produces different types of fabrics. Weft Needs. Filling or weft knitting involve the use of a single yarn and may be manufactured by machine or by hand techniques. Warp Needs. Warp knitted involves the preparation and use of a warp beam containing a very large number of parallel yarns mounted on the knitted machine. Number 3. Introduction to non-woven fabrics. Non-woven are defined as textile materials made directly from solution or fibers, and the fiber held together as a fabric by adhesives, heat fusion, if thermoplastic fibers, or through entanglement of the fibers. Okay, that's all for this class. Thanks for your attention. Goodbye.